laying inside my cruise control and overdrive. Need to take my baby for a ride. Ooh, she's like a smooth stretch of highway. Ooh, like a cool summer breeze. If my motor's running right, or we might lose control tonight. Got the shape I love to squeeze, looks that bring me to my knees. So please let it roll tonight.
Hi everyone, and welcome once again to TW Teleproductions North Coast Game of the Week. Well, you know exactly where we are. If you didn't get the clue in the pregame hype, we're down Highway 101 today into Castalia, where the Margaretta Polar Bears are hosting the Oak Harbor Rockets in a sectional championship. And I love sectional championships now when you actually get to host the games. Tom was there so early in the day, got to catch Drew Grawl actually mopping the floor, for crying out loud. That is early. That is getting hyped up and ready for tournament basketball. And it's Margaretta style as the Bears come in at 21-1 on the year.
Margaretta High School, our sectional final. Here's our 50-50 for the Margaretta Boosters. 10 tickets for $5 and 25 tickets for $10. Make sure you stop in and get some.
Thank you, Jeff.
They're only $1. It's the deal of the day.
The Rohrbachers and the most
Bears.
outgoing of them all.
Say go Bears.
I've heard you have natural.
What great sound effects. And slumped under the table. And next year we'll take another video and it'll be jumping all over the camera. That's kind of the way it works at that age. Look at Dan Hedberg, man. He is popping up the corn and getting ready for another night. Ray Neal kind of watching over things. And here are some of the baseball kids who are running around the school now going, where's Coach Neal? He's still coaching basketball, so he's got a lot of great assistants to help him out in getting him through some of these spring workouts. It's one of those things that happens like year after year because Margaretta girls are just destined for tournament runs season after season. They've become a way of life in Castalia. And now the coup de grace, as you would have it, for Margaretta fans on Thursday night when they get to have a boys game early in the night, a girls game later in the night. They travel between tournament sites. There's buses set up. There's caravans set up to go all over the place and just catch a whole lot of Margaretta basketball, whether it be girls or boys. Julian Washington getting himself warmed up, and been a long week for Julian, coming back from Grandma's funeral in Buffalo, New York. And, of course, the Castalia clan in the front row. Hey! And the Jeff Euchre seats, Bob Euchre seats. See what memory does to you in your older years?
Go Bears.
All right, your turn, Mike.
Hi, Tommy. How are you?
Won't look at the camera, but will address the camera. These guys are just happy to be there. They won't address the camera or the name because they don't know us yet. They will, in all due time. Fan of the Week is up next. It's brought to you by Snow Trails Winter Resort, located in Mansfield, Ohio.
Linda's youngest sister. Go Bears! Go Bears! Go Bears! Yay, polar bears!
It's unanimous. Go Bears, your Fans of the Week, brought to you by Snow Trails Winter Resort, located, of course, in the heart of the fun spot of Ohio and Mansfield.
Bears! Go Bears! I'm sitting next to Dr. Crawford. Go!
Doc Crawford. I've heard him call lots of other things before, but not Doc. Margaretta makes their entrance onto the scene for sectional tournament basketball. You know, these teams have their senior nights during the year, which are extra special, but now getting to host a tournament game at your school, that just makes it even better.
Say hey!
Hey.
Go polar bears!
Does a good job following instructions. I wish I knew those parental procedures when I was a little bit younger with my kids. That's just after a bag of popcorn, obviously. Coach Keller being wished good luck by Brian Collards from the Register. Well, he looks kind of cool, calm, and collected now, but just wait. The opening gun hasn't sounded yet. Love those shirts. Trust us. Here come the Rockets onto the floor. And, Oak Harbor, it is going to be kind of a tough year for them. They come in with a record of 4 wins and 17 losses. A down year for them. Out of 9 seeds in the district, they are the number 9 seed. But the story a lot of folks didn't know is they had a 1,000-point scorer in the first 3 years of his career at Oak Harbor in Ethan Stokes. And his senior year, moved to Arizona. And that really kind of left a big hole in that Oak Harbor lineup. First 3 years, 1,000 points, and then says toodaloo in his senior year. That's tough on the team and everybody, as a matter of fact, including him. I'm sure he probably would have loved to finish out with his teammates the last year, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. Ah, yes. Proudly displaying Jackson Bone on the Margaretta jersey. Get my way. I don't want that camera to see me. I didn't do my eyelashes today. Hang on. Tip-off is next. First quarter is sponsored by Marketplace at the Cook in the heart of downtown Sandusky. Boy, these polar bear fans love their bears or what? Look at the student section standing up from floor to the top row of the bleachers. Margaretta jumping it up with Cale Bailey, and we're underway with Judy Keller controlling things right off the bat. Oak Harbor, you kind of have to adjust to what they do to you on defense because they love to play that little matchup zone, which can confuse things. And if you're not hitting from outside, sometimes it can be an issue. Many will know the name Dave Sweet, graduate of Norwalk High School. I know the name because he was in my graduating class, but his son Eric, the head coach of the Rockets, as they get on the board quickly with Michael Lalonde. Nice little head and shoulders fake by Michael. Straight to the hole. Good touch off the glass. And the Rockets jump off to the 2-0 lead. Judy Keller answers right back. And the Bears jump on top. Tate Bailey, and you can see it's a couple inches behind the arc is Judah to splash the 3 and get Margaretta up by 1. Margaretta's defense doing its thing. Now it's a matter of trying to turn turnovers into points and a reaching foul being called. Despite what Lalonde had as an opinion, the official decided to stick with his call this time, which is usually pretty consistent. Polar Bears with a quick splash of 3s to take a 4-point lead. You see Eric Sweet, the head coach of the Rockets. You usually look at Oak Harbor and see records that have got more wins than losses associated with it, but this is just one of those rare years where the Rockets struggled. Former member of the Sandusky Bay Conference, Keller off the rim, backside rebound coming off though to Tyson Bailey. It's fun to do Margaretta games because all you have to do is say Bailey and you're 60% chance of getting them right. Noah Wiley off the back iron and rebounded by Lalonde, and Oak Harbor back on the attack once again. 3 minutes in. Lalonde really spearheading this Oak Harbor offense. Julian Washington swiping off the second shot, which resulted in the miss, and the Margaretta lead is 3. And Washington shot up over the backboard and out of bounds, and it goes back to the Rockets. Oak Harbor doing a nice job with that zone press, putting a man in the middle and getting it there and distributing it so that they get it into the front court in good shape. And then you got to work against this Polar Bear man-to-man defense, which is pretty darn good in its own right. You know, you got to salute the Oak Harbor fans, because not that it's the biggest cheering section in the world, but that stage is full of Rocket fans cheering on their team with a mammoth task in front of them here, taking on top-seeded Margaretta. Remember what I told you about Coach Keller before the game? Halfway into the first quarter, and he is in top gear already. The rebound and run out by Keller draws the foul. Gavin Witt, the guilty party. Tate Bailey from that short range along the baseline, adding to the Polar Bears' lead. Take a look at the Polar Bear ball movement once again, and they leave Bailey open, totally capable of knocking down those 12-foot jump shots. And again, Margaretta is one of those teams where when you play unselfish basketball like this team does, everybody knows Julian Washington is at the head of things, although you haven't seen him yet because he'd been out of town into the ball game off the bench tonight. In your picture right there on defense. Long week up in Buffalo, New York. Unfortunately at his grandma's wedding, but he left Buffalo, New York at 5 o'clock on this game day, talking in the morning, and came back and watched him go to work. Sorry about the fact that funeral is what should have come out of my mouth instead of wedding. Just a tad bit of a difference there, but Julian actually saying that he wanted to dedicate this one to his grandma, and he did a great job with it. Thanks to the following local businesses for their support. They are Leslie Murray Law, Bosco Cement, David F. Cook Funeral and Cremation Services, Diedrich Motors, Payne Nichols and Company, Good Time Lake Erie Island Cruises, UBS Financial Services, Dwayne Oley and Brett Kinzel, Crush Wine Bar, Dockside Cafe, Schlesman Seed Company, and Pier Pub. And good luck to the Polar Bears from all the folks at Assured Partners. And also, Loris Printing, wishing the Bears the best of luck on the tournament trail. And the folks at Keller Williams, Chevenik Realty, Ben Olemaker Realtor, your Lake Erie home team. There's Julian Washington, fresh off the road trip and knocking down his first basket of the ball game when the Polar Bears jumped their lead to 7. So we'll pull up, fade away. That's an awfully tough shot to defense. Somebody's fading away from the basket with the size, reach, and range that Julian has. Good for a 7-point lead. And Washington there knocking the ball away from Alex Reif and out of bounds. Reif, a big boy at 6'5", and a junior. Sporting number 44 for the green and red. Double team in the corner. And they work the ball to the open man, which is the 3. It gets Oak Harbor back to within 4. Julian Washington with the offensive rebound, resulting in the Tyson Bailey basket. And Margaretta will stretch their lead once again. Here's Wiley's shot from the corner. Backside rebound again. And you saw Washington crashing in there. And boy, you just can't stress that enough in basketball. Backside rebounding. That results in that easy basket for Bailey on the assist from Washington. It's textbook stuff right there. Polar Bears by 6, down to just over 2 minutes remaining in our first quarter. And Margaretta's trapping defense, causing an Oak Harbor turnover. Well, Lalonde doing what he does so well, and that's attacking the basket and making things happen. The story on the scoreboard, minute 30 left. And there goes Tyson Bailey to work again down low. 6'2" sophomore for the Bears, upping that lead to 8. Have we mentioned yet Margaretta's defense turning into offense? And they do it so well, turning the ball over and then looking down the floor immediately. And look at this. You got the double team, so you know what's coming. And look at Washington releasing like right now. Keller knows how to find him. Great bounce pass for an easy 2. Defense to offense. You've heard that a few times this year as well. Margaretta building their lead to 10. Patience in working the clock down toward the end of the first quarter here for the Bears. Keegan Morris dropping it down low, and great defense that time by Oak Harbor and Braxton Witt. Eric Sweet pleading his case. Well, I don't know. I don't think he's going to win. They very rarely do. There's Keegan Morris on that pass down low to Bailey, with it being poked away and out of bounds. The official on the baseline saying it stays with Margaretta. Eric Sweet, I think, trying to plead the fact that it went off one of the feet of the Polar Bears, but does no damage. It's a 10-point Margaretta lead after 1, and Eric Sweet still going at it as we go to a break. Great shot of the majestic polar bear just outside the Margaretta gym. Our second quarter coming up, brought to you by Civista Bank. They are focused on you. And by Hartung Title, supporting local athletics for generations across the North Coast. But then again, you probably already knew that because it's probably touched your life in some way or another. Thanks to the folks at Hartung Title.
That's a real polar bear, by the way.
It is a real polar bear, yeah. Anybody who has any doubts about that, ask anybody dressed in green and they'll tell you the whole story and nothing but the truth, so help me God. The Margaretta students not getting worn out. They're standing this whole game. 16-6, the polar bear lead heading into quarter number 2. There's the steal by Morris. Morris gets it right back, and Margaretta ups their lead to 12. See, Judah Keller smiling, coming back down the floor. And Judah Keller really wasn't even involved in this play. He just loves watching his team get an easy 2 off the break. That's what's so fun about watching these kids play. They don't care. And, I always go back to the words that old Sandusky High football coach Larry Cook always said. It's amazing what you can accomplish when nobody cares who gets the credit. And that's the way this Margaretta team operates. That was a nice attack, and the bounce pass down low to Gavin Witt. Once in a while, you can beat the double team. O'Carver doing the same thing, trapping off that zone. Keegan Morris from long range. Nice save on that baseline by Lalonde. That step back jump shot nicely executed, and the Rockets creep a little bit closer. The rare times you'll see the Rockets beat Margaretta down the floor. Fulton Krupp, 6-foot junior, getting the Rockets right back to within 6 points again. Wiley kicking it off sideline right for Keller, and then back out on top to Wiley. Polar Bears can be patient if they need to. Tyson Bailey scoring quickly for the Bears, increasing their lead up to 21-12. Margaretta's defense, they just don't give up. They just keep hounding, causing that timeout to be called by the Rockets. Special thanks going out to the following businesses who support us here at the Game of the Week. Best of luck to the Bears on the tournament trail, going out to all of you from Pizza Brothers, home of the Foldover, of course, and from Foster Chevrolet and the Chevy Network. That's interesting, because I'd love to bring my wife along to games once in a while, and when she knows I'm going to a Margaretta game, she'll say, I want to come with you. And normally there's a player or two she really likes to watch, which there is, but for Margaretta, she loves watching Steve Keller just coach the way he coaches this basketball team, and he doesn't change. Well, nice job using the screen. To beat the Polar Bear defense that time. Here's Keller into the paint, then the kick out for Washington, and his pull-up jumper comes up short. Hale Bailey on the rebound, and Margaretta's possession continues. Penetration, which Keller loves to do, cut off on that right wing by that trapping Oak Harbor zone. And, you don't get drives to the basket that are much more textbook than what you just saw out of Julian Washington. There's two defenders that are going to be there, but it doesn't make any difference. He finds a way to split that zone and get the lay-in. That's why he's got so many people taking a look at him right now as a junior. Washington again. And Margaretta's lead at 11. Again, Gavin Witt beating the defense down the floor. There's the Vista Bank scoreboard as Margaretta in front 25-16 here in the second quarter. Nolan Wiley along that baseline. Margaretta getting it back, and you can see the polar bear at the other end crossing his arms like, why did you do that? Thanks to the following businesses for supporting the North Coast Game of the Week: Kohler Sheet Metal, Jim's Pizza Box, Erie Community Federal Credit Union, O Supplies, Luco, Pizza House West, Sandusky Steel and Supplies, Gnomes Podiatric Medicine, Steineman Hafner Insurance Services, Brady Signs, Cook Aluminum, Wendy's, and BGSU Firelands College. Man to man. You get into that Death Valley in front court, that's when Margaretta comes after you. Rebound for Julian Washington. And Washington with the three. There is no way to effectively guard this young man. You saw a little bit earlier his slashing to the basket. You have to respect that. And when you do, he'll knock one down from behind the arc. Just a complete package as far as a player and young man are concerned. Tate Bailey looking to the bench to get the defensive call from Coach Keller, and Steve helping the official out here. The official says, thanks, Steve, but I don't need your help. I had plenty earlier from Eric Sweet. They switch off on that screen out front by Keller, still with his man. See, Oak Harbor, they love to use that little screen and attack to the basket. Another look right here. Keller that time stayed put as Bailey came over to try and cover the ground, and Washington up with the big swat. 12-point Margaretta lead as Washington thought he had Keller in the paint, but that gets loose, and Oak Harbor now trying to take advantage of the turnover as Cooper Schultz came up with a loose ball. Good job of Keller holding on to his feet right there and not biting on the ball fake. And then Lalonde showing he can split that defense as well. Oak Harbor hanging around here in the second quarter. Keller along the baseline with a swish job. Nice little mid-range jumper. Two more for the Bears as they keep the pressure on Oak Harbor here in the second quarter. It's almost like Judah's looking to the side like, Dad, you going to yell at them or not? Okay, if not, I guess I'll have to accept it. Well, a swarming Oak Harbor defense causes a turnover. And bringing it back the other way is Zach Hallett. However, with Washington, when he gets a steal and goes uncontested to the basket, you know what you're going to see. Don't know quite which variety you're going to see, but here you're going to get the two-hand ram. It's the advantage that Washington has on that reach of his to do that foul-free, and then kapow. Showtime at the Iceberg with Julian Washington. Polar Bear lead at 13 points. Oak Harbor feeling within 13. They don't want to further the damage, so they'll just ride this clock out for the rest of the first half and try and put a little dent in that lead before the halftime buzzer. That's Lalonde just being watched by Cale Bailey out front. As the clock winds down, last shot off the mark, and there is your halftime buzzer. And it is Margaretta holding the lead at the break by 13 on the Game of the Week. Coming up is our third quarter, which is sponsored by Snow Trails Winter Resort in Mansfield. Thinking about the carnival? Well, yeah, that's all you're doing because it was last week, so you missed it. And if you did, make plans to get there next year. There's your Civista Bank scoreboard with Margaretta holding the lead 32-19 at the break.
And Tyson, okay? All right, Tate, get you on the wing and Cale on the other way. We're bringing Judah through.
And that's the way it's supposed to work. Let's see if the plans come to fruition or not. Kick out Bailey. He got the shot. Oak Harbor on the rebound. Lalonde knocks it down from long range, and just like that, it's a 10-point ball game again here in the third quarter. Boy, how's that for a heads-up play by Tate Bailey? Saving the possession for the Polar Bears. Little bump on the defense by Zach Hallett. When all else fails, bombs away. Keller and Tate look around, kind of stare down, and then, okay, you're going to give me room? Take that. So backdoor cut, which results in the kick out and then the throwaway. So it goes back to Margaretta off the turnover. And a little reach and foul will be called on the Bears. Man-for-man pressure up the court by the Bears. And they're just keeping the pace slow. And then Lalonde, boy, he just has got that great acceleration. And he gets himself a couple of free throws. And Oak Harbor is back to within 11. Minute and a half into quarter number 3 here at the Iceberg. On the tie-up, the alternating possession goes to Oak Harbor. Stolen right back by Keller. The Keller aware the whole time coming up the floor. If anybody's on his left or right, Tate Bailey down low, rebound, jostled around, and then retrieved by Hallett. When you hear a coach yell, "sit down," when they're playing defense, you could see several Margaretta players doing it on that possession. Washington with the long ball. Answered right back by Oak Harbor. And the lead again for Margaretta is at 11. Bailey to Bailey, and Tate couldn't finish, but then knocks the ball away again, but Oak Harbor will still have it. Both head coaches at work there, Steve Keller and Eric Sweet, while we thank a few businesses for supporting us here at the North Coast Game of the Week. Hermes Parker Concrete, Snow Trails, Savista Bank, Matthews Ford, Cameo Pizza, Daly's Pub, Landmark Kitchen and Bar, Shorehouse Tavern, S&H Blinds and Floors, Loris Printing, Dave Voigt at Assured Partners, and Fresh Electric Incorporated. And best of luck to the Polar Bears along the tournament trail from the Greater Sandusky Partnership. Kaufman & Kaufman Company, LPA, Michael D. Kaufman. $11 points is the difference here on your Savista Bank scoreboard, with Margaretta in control here. The only lead that Oak Harbor has had in this game was 2-0, and that was it. Margaretta been in control ever since. Julian Washington's third three of this contest. Take another look once again as he's being defended by Cooper Schultz. Gives it up. Backs up. Gets it back. And Schultz, nothing he can do. So the lead for Oak Harbor now up to a couple of touchdowns at 41-27, and a timeout being called by the Rockets.
Defensively, hey, let's go back with, let's go 32, because it makes Milan what? Give it up. Now look, if your second line, Nolan, what happened is second line's got to come all the way over.
Love it. Special thanks to the following businesses who support us here at the Game of the Week. And we've got Bailey's all over our sponsor list as well. It's like Bailey night on the Game of the Week. Just the way it is. Halfway through the third quarter, and Margaretta has built a lead of 14 points. The defense by Wiley. And Wiley got the shooter's roll that time. Nolan knocks down the two. And that's going to make this Margaretta lead a 16-pointer. Shooter's touch that time for Nolan. And the Bears opening up some distance here in the third quarter. Well, anybody who knows Eric Sweet or the Sweet family knows that he or his team will not throw in the towels. They'll always keep coming as Tyson Bailey gets rewarded with a couple of free throws right here. Well, the drive that time by Zach Hallett will result in a couple of free throws. And 1 out of 2 at the line for Zach. Makes it a 14-point ball game again at 44-30. Trying to get it through traffic. Throwaway results in another Margaretta possession. Now Keegan Moore is finding Cale Bailey deep in the corner for that three. Cross-court passes with all the defense swarming toward the ball. Done nicely by the Bears, finding the open man. So Cale Bailey's three. Seems like every time Margaretta gets one, Oak Harbor answers right back with Cooper Schultz. Still a 14-point ball game. Polar Bears on the rebound and will continue their possession. A little rare misses by Washington. And Gavin Witt takes it down for the Rockets. Well, there's exactly what Coach Keller was talking about before. Make Lalonde get rid of the ball. Clock stops with Keller getting a little, they got a poke in the eye or something that sent him to the floor. That's a tough matchup right there for Lalonde when you put Washington on him, but you use the screen to get him open, and then the putback right there for Gavin Witt. And the lead is at 11 again. Down to a minute to go in our third quarter. Pull-up jump shot, tough one for Washington, but not really for Julian. See kids working before practice, after practice. Tell you what, that is a shot you don't see a lot of anymore, that pull-up jump shot. And Washington perfect off the baseline. Time winding down again here in the third quarter as it looks like Oak Harbor will be trying to kill some clock again near the end of the quarter and get the last shot up. Only down by 13. They're still within reasonable striking range here. Keller on the rebound, the immediate look down the floor. And that pull-up jump shot right there for Keegan Morris adds to the Margaretta lead, which is now at 15 after quarter number 3 on TW Teleproductions North Coast Game of the Week. Fourth quarter will be sponsored by the Old Fish House with knickknacks, snacks, and BS facts, all for you in Huron, the Old Fish House. And also brought to you by Civista Bank, who is focused on you. Before our fourth quarter begins, let's get you our North Coast moment for this week, brought to you by Shores and Islands, Ohio. Here you go. If you love wintertime, right down by Home Gardener Road in Castalia. I know this is Wiedenheft land. Good old Castalia country. And while the snow is falling, you may not like the snow, but you can't really deny the fact that it's a gorgeous sight. Wintertime on the North Coast. That is your North Coast moment, and it's brought to you by Shores and Islands, Ohio. It's about the only time those people have sat down all night long tonight. And that's because they're on a roller coaster. You have to sit down. Right back up again for our fourth quarter with Margaretta leading by 15 after a 19-17 advantage in the third. Just gradually opening this thing up. 16-6 advantage in the first, 16-13 in the second, and they open it up by 2 more in the third. Told Joe Carber's not going to go away. That's just not who they are, despite only winning 4 games all season long. Keegan Morris on the attempt for the Bears. And now Lalonde at the other end. Trying to weave through traffic. Zach Hallett drew the foul. And Eric Sweet saw something he wants to address with his team about how to get that offense working, which can be tougher said than done against this Margaretta defense. Thanks to the following businesses for their support: Summit Motorsports Park, Loris Printing, Pizza Brothers, Kaufman Coffin and Associates Company, LPA, Marketplace at the Cook, O.E. Meyer Company, Foster Chevrolet and the Chevy Network, Ben Olemaker Realtor, and the Greater Sandusky Partnership. And with tournament time upon us, good luck to the Polar Bears from O.E. Meyer Company, a propane division, and from BGSU, Firelands College of Bowling Green State University in Huron. Hermes Parker Concrete Limited of Sandusky also wishing the Polar Bears best of luck on the tournament trail, along with the folks at Gunlock Sheet Metal Incorporated. Sandusky Bay Pancake House along the Route 250 corridor in Sandusky since 1966. Good luck, Bears. Well, you see Silas Crawford on the other side talking, throwing directions at it. Somebody's probably talking to the referee. He's always got something to say to somebody. Julian Washington starting the fourth quarter with a bang for the Bears. Margaretta's lead is at 15. Lon gets it right back. It looked like good defense in the paint, but a little body action puts Cooper Schultz at the free throw line for Oak Harbor. Now within 11. Now the Polar Bears want to take time out as they try and shake this very game group of Oak Harbor Rockets, who have closed back to within 11. Thanks again to the following local businesses for all of their support of the North Coast Game of the Week. J Bistro Downtown, Gardner Strayer Insurance Group, Snow Trails, Chat and Matt's Pizza, and Matthews Ford. Good luck, Polar Bears, from Hervins Parker Concrete Limited of Sandusky. And from Brumbaugh Law Firm, Elder Care and Estate Planning. Hartung Title. Here's the Vista Bank scoreboard as Oak Harbor within 11. And right now, at crunch time, Tyson Bailey starts the Polar Bears on a streak that could very well put this basketball game away. Talking about tough shots to defend, that little jump hook over the outstretched arms of Gavin Witt. He is 6'1", but Bailey still able to get it over the top of him and build that Margaretta lead back to 13. Washington on the rebound. Bailey again, carbon copy of the shot he just made a few moments earlier. Steal by Washington, slam by Washington. And all of a sudden, you've got a 17-point ball game. That's a crowd pleaser at the Berg. Watch the defense by Washington. Sometimes you underestimate the reach. That was just basically a takeaway. Pow. Man. And I don't know who's more pumped up, him or the fans. But that lit the Lightberg up. Lit the iceberg up for a 17-point Margaretta lead now at 59-42. It's a quick 6-point run to increase that lead. Margaretta's defense going to work again with that 1-2-2 trap. Oak Harbor has to kind of start operating quickly here and get as many shots up as they can to try and fight that clock. Margaretta working that ball nicely to result in that 3 attempt by Julian, which is off the mark and rebounded by Gavin Witt. Defended a little bit too tightly that time by Julian Washington, and a travel call will turn it back over to Margaretta halfway through quarter number 4. Boy, what a nice look from Washington to Wiley as the W's team up right here. Take a look. Washington just barely gets the ball and spots Nolan on the backside for an easy left-handed 2. And extends that run out to 8 straight points. Turnover. And now Keller doesn't like the fact that that one's getting taken away. And official said there was one too many steps right there. I think sometimes Judah can just juke you into believing that, but that's the way he handles the defense sometimes too. And Judah's, I've done that many times before and never been called. Oh, well, whatever. Still a 19-point lead for the Bears, and the clock definitely in their favor right now. Washington on the defense. And Keller on the rebound. Tyson Bailey. From the charity stripe. Making that now a 9-0 run to increase the lead up to 20 points. And what they've done is held Oak Harbor scoreless for a long enough period of time with that scoreboard now, the clock, really becoming an ally. Look at Margaretta work on defense once again. Nolan Wiley. Tough angle to see that one from, but boy, it really looked like Wiley made he made a great block up top, but must have gotten with him with a little bit of the body as well. There's your story on the Civista Bank scoreboard. Margaretta in charge. And as you can see in the background, about 2.5 minutes left to go in this one. Caught momentarily there was Fulton Krupp. And Tyson Bailey comes to the bench as Margaretta pretty much has this one wrapped up with a 17-point lead and 1:40 left to play. Rebound for Fulton Krupp. And now Margaretta just kind of taking their sweet old time and nursing that 17-point advantage. Ben Kaufman going to give it a shot. Just off the mark. And the rebound controlled by Krupp once again for Oak Harbor. Trying to get a basket right down the home stretch, just off the mark, and the clock is going to wind down now as Margaretta will just dribble it out for a sectional championship victory at the Iceberg, 62-45 over the Oak Harbor Rockets. And Julian Washington, not a bad day's night, coming off of an early morning rise call. He comes up with a total in the ball game of 28 points, 10 rebounds as well. And they're on to the districts and a rematch with that SBC Bay Division team, and that would be the Huron Tigers. The teams that finish 1-2 in the Bay Division will meet in the district semifinals at Lakota High School. Paving the Way is up next. It's brought to you by Hermes Parker Concrete Limited of Sandusky. Washington, love that look. Great find on the backside to a wide open Nolan Washington, or Wiley, and the first thing Nolan does is turn around, look at Julian, say, great pass. That's paving the way. It's brought to you by Hermes Parker Concrete of Sandusky. How about bringing the heat for Gunlock Sheet Metal Works Incorporated, bringing you heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and refrigeration since 1889. Well, can't get much more heated up than that right there with the steel and the two-hand slam by Julian Washington. Bringing the heat is for Gunlock Sheet Metal Works Incorporated on Columbus Avenue, just south of 5 Points in Sandusky. And finally, your pancake play of the game, which is brought to you by Sandusky Bay Pancake House since 1966. That means another $10 gift card is going out for someone to enjoy those great pancakes and breakfasts at the Pancake House. And your play of the game is Give Me That Basketball. Thank you very much. And from this angle, it kind of looks like Washington's about 20 feet in the air, slamming that one down. Your pancake play of the game for Sandusky Bay Pancake House. They've been around since 1966, doing it absolutely the right way. All right, so you've got two locals battling it out next week as Margaretta cuts down the nets at the Iceberg for a sectional championship. Up to the last couple of years, you never got to do that. It's the only good thing that's ever come out of COVID. As a matter of fact, you actually get to have sectional tournaments on your own floor. And now, from the district tournament at Lakota, next week on our Game of the Week, you'll see two local teams barreling at each other once again. Margaretta Polar Bears, Huron Tigers, and we say best of luck to both teams, as somebody from the SBC Bay Division is going to be heading on to the district championship game at Lakota. Don't know who yet, but you'll find out when we get together again on the Game of the Week. Jackson Bone posing for a couple of photographs as he gets to cut down his piece of the net. And junior Rob Cox doing the same. The atmosphere was fabulous, and now when you talk about Thursday night, the game actually moved forward to 5:30 when the Margaretta boys play, and then about an hour down the road in Bluffton, the girls play at 8 o'clock. You talk about the caravan going from Castalia to Lakota to Bluffton and back to Castalia on Thursday night. It is going to be quite the trek for Margaretta fans who are more than willing to make the journey, as we are as well, to Lakota, where we will see you coming up next week for Margaretta and Huron next time we get together on TW Teleproductions North Coast Game of the Week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Drive safely on your way to cheering on your favorites.